this Mitsubishi Outlander has definitely seen better days, and this is because in the last 6 months it sat in a car park not running with an issue on the high voltage system. So the plug-in hybrid uses a petrol engine that acts as a generator and then discharge a high voltage battery where from the electric motors draw the current to literally move the car. Now it seems that the issue is on the high voltage system, and the high voltage system is quite comprehensive because it has many components, control units, battery, electric motors, heater, air conditioning, so many, and obviously so many other sensors. And the issue so far, it couldn't have been found. Now hopefully this will be the time that we're going to get this Mitsubishi back on the road. For now we'll have to push it in, but we hope when we're going to take it out, the Mitsubishi engine is going to do that on its own. Let's get it in. Welcome to OGS Mechanics Workshop. Here we fix all type of cars, electric cars, combustion engine cars. Follow me for interesting jobs from our workshop translated in videos. It's actually rolling, but not on its own. Hopefully on the way out it's going to be a bit quicker than that. So this Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV is being stood for a few months because it was no longer operating. Now, looking at the discs, we can obviously see that this is the case. They are very rusted. Now, the PHEV, it has a combustion engine that works as a generator, produce energy that eventually drives the car. There is a problem on the high voltage system that prevent the combustion engine from starting and obviously from creating all this cycle. When we try to turn the engine on, this happens. There is a warning light with the EV system, and service is required, obviously. EV system on a vehicle runs from the back of the car to the front, and then easily to be recognized by its orange cables, as we can see here. Orange cables, wherever you see orange cables on the vehicle, it means this is a high voltage system and it has to be handled with care. Now, diagnosing a high voltage system problem is obviously comprehensive because the problem could be anywhere. Now, in this particular case, we have run a scan. Can you bring me the scanner, please? Running a scan, it has revealed quite a lot of error codes, but the one to concern are the one related with the current sensor module and the leak detection. If we cycle the ignition several times, the vehicle comes full of other errors, but those are to concern, and those are related to the high voltage battery control unit. Now, those two sensors, the current sensor and the leak detection sensor, are two sensors in the high voltage battery. In order to access them, we will need to drop the high voltage battery. However, before we do so, we should check the basics. And following a wiring diagram, this is what we've noticed. Where's the pen? The pen is here. Within the high voltage battery, we have this current sensor. Basically, it's this that goes on a bus bar, and it measures actually the current that flows in the battery and outside the battery. Without this working, the BMU, the battery monitor system, cannot understand what is going with the battery, and therefore the system will not operate. Now, on the same diagram, we can see that the ground fault detector. This is another sensor that senses if there is a leak into the high voltage system. Now, what we can see from them, this is the CAN network, but this is the positive line, which it means it seems that is shared by both two sensors that to us are showing to be defective. So the current and the leak detection. Now, what we can do in here, first call, is to check the fuse. We cannot access the sensor to go down to them and check if they get the power supply, but the very least thing that you can do before we drop the full battery is to check the fuse and see where if the fuse is in good condition or not.
No, no.
Nothing, huh?
No.
It's time. So with the ignition on, what are we trying to do? Erase the code and see if the error codes are getting deleted. Current sends a signal, but if we cycle the ignition, can you cycle the ignition for me? We're going to cycle the ignition and we're going to try again. Ignition back on?
Yeah.
All the error codes are coming back. So we know something is not right with those two sensors. It could be the fuse, but it could also have, we have the wiring interrupted somewhere around the car. Big question. Now, what we want to try also, see if we have any charge operation. Can you plug it in? Before we do any other work, we want to test the charging to see if it operates. Checking the dash, we have no message, and it's kind of expected that we're not going to have operation from that. The warning light came on the dash. It's quite expected, obviously, since we have an error code related with the current sensor. It could be that we will end up taking the battery, but let's stick with the basics for now. We have managed to identify this fuse over here, the fuse 11, in the front fuse box. And checking in with this tester, we have noticed we have positive here, and we have no power here. So it looks like this fuse is blown. Now, could this be it? Could this be the reason for which this car is not running? Also, we've tried to start the engine, but nothing happens. So let's test this one also. Although the combustion engine obviously is separate from the high voltage. Let's see. Foot on the brake. Nothing is happening. Obviously, apart from the warning message. Combustion engine, it is separate from the high voltage somehow, but it acts as a generator because it's charging the high voltage battery. So since we found this fuse, we managed to identify it as a 7.5 amps fuse. We're gonna take it out. Is it visible that is blown? You can also visually check it, but with the tester it's a lot easier. Now we're gonna put a fuse on. We're not sure whether it's gonna blow again. Fuse is on. Now is the time to check whether we have made any progress. Can we have the ignition on? Because first of all, I want to make sure the fuse does not blow again. Okay, this is good. We've got progress. Now, let's see what happens when we try to erase the codes. No codes. Can you cycle the ignition for me? We have to see, because sometimes you can delete the error codes, but on cycling the ignition, the error might reappear, or maybe the fuse is going to blow again.
Okay.
On. So let's first of all check again, make sure the fuse still okay. Ignition on. Okay, so far is good. So it looks like this fuse was interrupting the power supply here, and that's why we had error codes with those sensors. In theory, if we have no other error codes, and what we're gonna do now, we are going to scan the full vehicle, because once the BMU register triggers a fault, from there that fault is going to be replicated in other control unit, obviously affecting the functionality. Now, since we managed to clear that, we have to see whether we will be able to clear everything else that is related with high voltage system and the starting, and whether eventually this Outlander is going to start now. With the scan now completed, to concern is the PHEV system, where it has 8 error codes, and we have something on keyless air conditioning and tire pressure monitoring system. Not really interested in that at the moment, but what we want to see, whether we'll manage to erase those error codes, and afterwards we will try to see whether this engine is going to fire up. Obviously, a lot of error codes still related with the leak detection sensor, charge signal, so error codes from the BMU system. Okay, can we cycle the ignition, see if any errors are coming back? On. No error detected. Now, in theory, we might be able to have this engine started. Let's see what it happens. Yeah, let's see. Already comes on, actually. Wow. Okay, does it let you drive? Can you select a gear? It's a bit surprising that this car has been stood for 7 months or 6, whatever they were, for a fuse. Now, is this car fixed? Why did the fuse blow in the first place? So we have drive. Okay, switch it off. Let me see if it charges also. Maybe the fuse is gonna blow again when we try to charge it. Is the ignition off? Let's see what it shows on the dash. It's gonna take a bit. It's charging. Wow. It is charging. I'm a bit surprised because just the fuse, but like I said, why the fuse blew in the first place? I haven't seen, although from what I understood, the vehicle was checked, but I don't know how it was checked, because, I mean, up to this stage, the things, they seem to be simple. We've done an installation test, so we've done a bit more than what I'm showing in this video. We've done an installation test because there are some common parts prone to fail on this Mitsubishi, but when we narrow it down towards those two sensors, something become quite obvious that, I mean, it's very unlikely, you know, it doesn't really happen to have two components failing at the same time, and that's why I start to be suspicious why this is happening. And that's why, because initially we are tending to go down to the high voltage battery, physically checking the sensors, but when we've seen there are two and we want to see whether there's anything in common, and that's where we end up with a blown fuse that, at least for now, it seems that has made the system operating again. Now, What we're going to do, we are going to install the components that we've stripped. We're going to take the car out, take it for a drive test, see how it behaves. Because like I said, the big question mark is why the fuse blew in the first place. As it stands, Mitsubishi seems to be operating. After the road test, if the fuse is going to blow again, we'll obviously have to resume from there. It might be another video. In the meantime, I'm George. Here is OGS Mechanics Workshop, where we fix all type of cars, electric combustion engines. So I'm inviting you to subscribe to the channel in the link below. Click the notification button to see all the videos with the jobs from the workshop translated in obviously videos. See you soon.